Hi guys, Neil the Grumpy Old Gamer, and it's time for another vlog. Not done one for a while, so thought we'd do one because there's lots to talk about basically. Hope you're all well. Haven't spoken to you in a while, so hope everybody's good who watches. Basically what I'm going to be looking at in this vlog is a number of things that obviously have gone on recently and or have happened recently. Namely Advanced Warfare coming out and how that's being taken to by the community as a whole, but obviously esports are going to have a look at that. Roster changes, as a lot of you know, there's been a lot of changes recently, both in America but more importantly and close to home in the UK, and a lot of them are close to my heart, so I'll be looking at those. And i53 coming up soon. Few things about that, good and bad. So, not bad, don't take it in the wrong way, but we'll discuss that in a bit. So yeah, first of all, let's have a look at Advanced Warfare. It's been out, a couple of weeks now, and it's been causing a bit of an uprising for a number of different reasons. Seems like it has had the effect that everybody thought it would in terms of reinvigorating. I was going to say the franchise. I'm not sure. Giving a different slant, shall we say, to the Call of Duty franchise, and it's certainly done that. My own personal feelings to start off with. It has gone down exactly how I thought it would with me. In terms of it is a completely different game to play for me personally to any other Call of Duty that I've ever played before. I'm going to hold my hands up here and say yes, I wasn't the most I would say active person. I was an active person in game in terms of, I wouldn't say I camped, but I was let's say I held positions. Take that as you will. I wasn't a run and gun type player on every other COD. So for this game, it quickly became apparent to me that you cannot stay in one place for any length of time, whether that be camping or whether that be finding a head glitch, finding a strategic place to overlook a point in domination, anything like that, you can't do, because somebody will just creep up behind you and smash you in the back of the head. Simple. You constantly have to be on the move in this game. So for me, it's been a complete change of tactics and how I approach Call of Duty. So a lot of you would probably say that's probably a good thing, and I in the long run I'll probably agree with you. But it's been a complete change of how I play the game, so it's been quite difficult at times. So I don't know if anybody else is finding that. Please drop me a comment below how you're finding the game, whether you like it, don't like it, etc. How you may have had to adapt to the new game. Moving on from that, going into more of a competitive esports type of slant. I've been watching a lot of the streams and a lot of the comments from the pros, and obviously speaking to the lads at Epsilon. And I think most people in general like the dynamic of the game. I've been very surprised at how, not necessarily, I thought there would be some elements of the guys who had competed previously who would need to adapt more to this game because of their play styles. And I'm seeing one or two tweets going around that, some people perform well on Ghost but aren't performing well on this. But in general, I would say most of the pros that I watch have picked the game up really well and are playing the game really well. So, from that point of view, there doesn't appear to be any drop in people who are playing the game. So, as I said, going on from that, the only things that have really risen their heads is, as everybody expected, was sort of rule sets and game modes and stuff like that were going to be used in the competitive scene. And the big talking point appears to be uplink. From that point of view, I've expressed my opinion on Twitter. I don't particularly like it. I haven't played it much. What I have played, I didn't particularly like. But then again, I can't base my opinions of what should be in a competitive rule set on what my personal opinions are of a game mode. So that's by the by. What I have seen on Twitter is a lot of the pros saying they don't particularly want it. I haven't looked into closely enough the reasons why they don't want it. But going back to another, which I think is more relevant point of view, we had a discussion on Twitter the other day, maybe 4 or 5 of us from within the scene, a couple of players and a couple of people on the sort of periphery like myself. And the general feeling was that Uplink isn't particularly fun to watch. I know some people disagreed with that, but my personal opinion is that Uplink, the game Call of Duty is all about running around, firing guns and inherently shooting people. The game of Call of Duty isn't about bouncing around the map, throwing a ball around and getting it through a hoop. That's called basketball. Uplink has, in my personal opinion, been designed in the game so you can make use of the exo abilities. Not to do with shooting people, it's to do with bouncing around a map, throwing a ball around. You might as well, in theory, not really bother having the guns, because it's not really about that. You can stop people from throwing a ball around in many different ways. Shooting them is only one of them. So my personal opinion is that Uplink has been shoehorned into the game to make use of the exo abilities, not been thought about to fit in with the whole ethos of Call of Duty. Now I understand there's reasons why certain areas of the competitive scene might want Uplink in the game, and that's been discussed on Twitter. I'm not going to get into that because that's all very political and I don't want to get into that. But my personal opinion from a viewer point of view is that Uplink, because it's all action, and I'll give it that, you can't take that away from it, but because of that, it's very difficult from what I've seen from a caster's point of view to keep up with the constant changing of the ball going there, people dying, which I know happens in other game modes, hardpoint particularly, that switches a lot as well. But the action switches so much in Uplink, and do you follow the ball carrier? Do you follow those defending? And it just seems exceptionally messy to not cast, but to control the production in terms of who you're following. And I know the casters tend to do that. So it can't be easy to work like that. And as I say, from a viewer's point of view, it seems exceptionally messy to watch, constantly chopping and changing between the players and where they are on the map at any given time. So that's my personal opinion. I don't particularly like Uplink, and I don't see the need to shoehorn in another game, a new game mode, when you've got Capture the Flag, S&D, Hardpoint, maybe Momentum, and again I can't comment on Momentum, that was another game type mentioned. I've not really played it enough or seen it enough to really comment on it, so I'm not going to mention that, but certainly the 3 core modes of CTF, Hardpoint and S&D work so well on Black Ops 2, which everybody, I think to a man would agree was a definitive esports title in the COD franchise. I don't really see the need to change or go away from it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I can see sometimes the need for change. I don't see the need for change on this. Those 3 modes work. If you want to fit in more game types, fine. But surely they've got to fit in with the ethos of Call of Duty, which is strategic gun skill. And for me, Uplink isn't about strategic gun skill. It's all about bouncing around the map, trying to get a ball from one point to another as quickly as possible, while avoiding people. Whether they've got a gun or not to me is fairly irrelevant on that game mode. As I say, some people might agree with me, some people might not. Some people might agree with me in principle, but not in detail. But that's my personal opinion on that. In general, like Advanced Warfare, I think it's been well received. I like all the customization, the supply drops, everything else about it. So leave me a message on that and let me know how you think about that. We'll quickly move on to roster changes. Obviously, quite close to home for me. We had some changes at Epsilon. We had the news that Jerd and Swanee wanted to leave and explore the possibility to go over to America, which was only, in my personal opinion, this isn't a matter of Epsilon, but was only a matter of time. Those 2 guys have been exemplary in their performances, their approach to the scene, their professionalism for many years now. And I'm amazed it hadn't happened sooner from that point of view in their desire to explore the US scene. So that really wasn't a surprise. So yeah, and then obviously the situation with Jerd has gone beyond that now. As I say, whatever the reasons, he's now ended up with TCM, and you know that had to be done for his own need. So you know, the move to America obviously didn't materialise, and Jerd, you know, has to go somewhere. He can't just, you know, he can't just give it up. So you know, I wish him the best of luck. TCM have obviously got an amazing player. So you know, I'd rather have him with us than against us, but you know, it is what it is. So good luck to Jerd on that. Swanee, at the time of doing this video, has yet to decide on what he's doing. I genuinely hope he gets a chance in America. He so deserves it. You know, the guy was a pleasure to deal with at Epsilon, and still is whenever I speak to him now. And if anybody deserves a chance over there, it's him, because just what he could bring to any team that he goes on. You know, and so best of luck, Swanee. Hope you get something sorted in America, and hope you take it by storm, because I'm sure you will if you get that opportunity. I'll just quickly move on to Epsilon's new lineup. Obviously, we moved fairly quickly to secure Madcap back on the team, and then to bring PT in and JB Dominate. You know, Madcap coming back in was a little bit of a no-brainer. He's known to the team. He'd expressed, you know, played with us at ESWC, and him and Josh are quite close. So you know, bringing Madcap back in on a run and gun game type, to which he seems to be quite well suited, was, as far as I'm concerned, a bit of a no-brainer. PT and Dominate were obviously very well respected in the scene, and had been performing really well from what I could see on the early stages of Advanced Warfare. So they were welcomed into the team, and I'd just like to welcome all of them as a team. Hope they do really well. They've scrimmed a lot recently, and obviously won the first Gfinity tourney that they entered. Didn't do so well on the second one, but you know, these things happen. But they seem to be gelling really well, which is really good news. They seem a really good bunch of guys. Obviously, I've dealt with Madcat and Josh obviously before. PT and Dominate James I hadn't dealt with before, and they seem really nice guys. They're really good to deal with. No problem getting information out of them as and when I've needed it to update the Epsilon stuff. So yeah, looking forward to it. Obviously, it looks as though they'll be at i53. And fingers crossed they do well. New team, so you know, we're not going to expect too much too soon, but I'm sure they put enough pressure on themselves as experienced people, and yeah, fingers crossed they'll do well. So good luck to the guys. We'll be keeping an eye on what's going on, which brings us on to i53 as a finishing topic. The unfortunate news is I can't attend. I really wanted to. Me and Dom were going to go. But unfortunately other things have cropped up family wise that mean we can't attend, so we'll be watching from afar. Hope the guys from Epsilon do well, but it'll be interesting to see, as a new game coming out, the first event on a new game, who does well, and you know, TCM are going to be strong now they've picked up Jerd, although Marky's left, so it'll be interesting to see where Marky goes. I'm sure there'll be new teams on the scene that'll do well. Old teams coming back. Obviously, Momo's brought Aware back, although obviously minus PT. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. So we'll see. I'll see. It'll be interesting to see who comes through on in i53. I'm sure there'll be some shocks along the way. Hopefully not Epsilon, but you know, on a new game, shocks happen. So let's see what happens. But good luck to everybody at i53. Hope you really enjoy it. Have a pint on me, not on me. I'm not paying for it. Have a pint for me, and hope everybody enjoys it, and I hope it goes smoothly for those guys involved at i53. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. A little bit of an update, a little bit of opinions. Give your opinion below in the comments. I'll try to reply to some. But thanks for watching. It's Neil, the Grumpy Old Gamer, saying thanks for now. Leave a like, and I'll speak to you soon. Cheers, guys. Bye.